It looked like Baltimore's Ravens defensive coordinator is making a schematic plan to possibly see Shedeur if the Browns decide to put him in the game. This time it's dealing with the Baltimore Ravens, man. People talking about tickets dropping as low as to $6 now for a get-in price for this game. Now, I was going to make a separate video about it, but I'm proud of everybody in Browns Nation. Because you want to know why? Because people...
Y'all doing all right? All right, man. It's good. Good to see y'all. Shoot, man, he's a physical player. He plays hard. Love his versatility, man. I mean, he came in as an interior guy. I think that, his ability to really kick out on the edge and continue to hold his power and show his athleticism is a testament to his hard work. But I love his versatility, man, in the run game and the pass game. A guy who can play across the line of scrimmage for us. So I'm excited to see him Sunday. He's had a great couple days of practice.
You won't believe what just surfaced. Zach Orr just shattered the internet. And no, it's not because he tried to whip up another one of his questionable kitchen experiments. In this wild new interview, he goes all the way in on Shedeur Sanders. And when I say he went in, I mean NASA might still be monitoring his flight path because the man absolutely launched. What could push Zach to snap like this? Ego drama? A forgotten lunch order? Stick around, because this situation goes from strange to unbelievable in seconds. Another weekend of football is here, and once again, the Cleveland Browns are speeding straight toward disaster like it's a race they're trying to win. Ticket prices for this Ravens matchup have dropped to $6, which is literally the same price as a gas station hot dog that might end your entire week. Browns fans took one look at that and said, no thanks, I'll watch the chaos from my couch for free.
Zach Orr, the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, ain't tripping off Kevin Stefanski because he know big business too. Really ain't up to him. You can say Dylan and finna play. You can say all these things, but at the end of the day, y'all want to know what's Jimmy Haslam. So they prepared for Shedeur regardless. It says Ravens defensive coordinator Zach Orr was asked if Baltimore is spending any time preparing for Shedeur.
And honestly, who can blame them? And here's the best part. Fans are finally speaking through their wallets. Maybe not enough to bring a Lombardi trophy home, but definitely enough to send Jimmy Haslam into panic mode, holding a calculator in one hand and stomach medicine in the other. Nothing shakes an NFL owner like the phrase, "You're about to lose 20 million." And suddenly the whole stadium feels colder, emptier, and rougher than ever. Kevin Stefanski now looks like the coworker who just realized corporate discovered the missing printer ink stash.
People will say this too, like, the Browns have historically rushed rookie quarterbacks onto the field before they're ready. Ruin them. I mean, I know that's the whole thing. Like, what quarterback are we going to ruin next year and all this kind of stuff. The difference this year for me is that this season is gone. It's lost. And you already know that the first rookie you tried to put out there is clearly not it. And it's not even a matter of him not being ready. I just don't think he's capable, period. There's no amount of time, practice, experience that's going to suddenly make him capable. We need to see if Shedeur is, because we've got those 2 first-round picks next year.
And people keep saying Shedeur Sanders isn't going to play. Please, that's like saying the sun will take the day off. Money doesn't just talk. It argues, yells, and sends all-caps emails followed by a meeting nobody asked for. Next year, if you're Jimmy Haslam, there is no universe where you willingly lose $20 million just so Kevin can keep Dylan at quarterback out of pure stubborn pride. The Browns might be struggling, but they're not turned down $20 million just for ego struggling. Still, Kevin Stefanski is holding firm. He's made his announcement clear. Dylan is his quarterback, and he's not making changes. Translation, I'm going to pretend I run things until someone pulls the headset off my head during halftime. Meanwhile, on the other sideline, Ravens defensive coordinator Zach Orr is chilling with his morning coffee, absolutely unbothered by Kevin's dramatic speeches. Baltimore is preparing for Shedeur Sanders no matter what Kevin tells himself in the mirror. Because while Kevin keeps insisting Dylan is the starter, Jimmy Haslam is quietly saying, "That's cute," and the Ravens are saying, "We don't care what anyone says. We're preparing for the real threat."
Dak Jackson and him and everybody else that we talked to have said that Shedeur looks good. He looks really good.
Yes.
He looks better. And we got Zach that say Dylan Gabriel ain't even an NFL quarterback.
That's true.
So how is it that this man can't get a rep with the ones, but that non-NFL quarterback can?
We all
what
agree
sense
with that.
does that make?
It makes no sense.
Clearly, the guys running the team disagree with us.
Man,
it doesn't make any
and they're
sense.
the ones
what are y'all trying to? What is the goal?
That's called strategy. Something Cleveland might want to try someday. Even ESPN Cleveland has tapped out in confusion. And when they're confused, things have gone completely off track. They can't figure out why the Browns would draft Shedeur Sanders, bring all that attention, deal with the spotlight, pressure, hype, media noise, fan frenzy, only to bench him like an unplugged air fryer. It's like buying a Ferrari and then using it as a grocery shelf in the garage. Only the Browns could pull that off. And let's not forget the annual Browns tradition, losing games they should win and winning games they have no business touching. This year's example already happened, the Packers game. They cashed in their one-yearly miracle early, like a kid scarfing down all the Christmas candy before lunch. Yes, the Jets.
We in Cleveland. Yeah, I know we go to them. They have to talk about.
Do you think Shedeur has a chance to play Sunday?
No. I can't figure out this. Why would you draft him and welcome in the circus, not even always his fault, that comes with him, only to not play him? Like, what? Only the Browns. Only the Browns would do this.
Take the negatives
and none of the positive.
And none of the positive.
Those are facts, man, and they damn sure making it their business not to play.
Browns losing to the Jets is like losing a spelling bee to someone who doesn't even speak English, and it should not be physically possible. Yet somehow, here we are again. Hope is gone. Energy is gone. And fans are staring at this team the same way a parent looks at a kid who accidentally set the microwave on fire trying to warm up cereal. Everyone in the fan base knows the truth. There is only one path left if the Browns want to win another game this season, and that path is Shedeur Sanders. Not a backup idea, not some wild experiment, not a fun trick play. He's the only option. One door, one answer, one lifeline. But the Browns are treating this situation like a Netflix user scrolling past every great movie just to rewatch the worst show ever made for the 6th time out of pure bad habit. Some analysts are still trying to sound reasonable, saying Dylan was drafted first, so of course he got the starting chance. Fine, that makes sense. But common sense also says you drafted Shedeur Sanders for a reason, so eventually you have to find out if he's your future franchise star or the most expensive clipboard holder in NFL history. If the season is already sinking, you might as well check if there's anything valuable hiding in the ashes.
Defensive coordinator, his seat is hot right now. It was hot a little bit last year. They started the season real rough. He got it together at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Zach Orr, former drafted linebacker, either my year or year after me. Very familiar with him as a player, now turned coach. But the defense got way too soft.
Yes.
Way too many zone coverages. Just allowing Josh Allen to pick you apart and march down the field. Remember, them 3 points right before the end of the first half, you think that mattered, Ravens? Absolutely did, because now you ended up losing by 1 point. So, in my mind, if you're the Ravens, you have to be embarrassed.
Shedeur has been grinding behind the scenes, working like someone who wants the job, which is bold for a franchise that historically does not vibe well with bold strategies. Somewhere deep down, even Kevin Stefanski knows the moment is coming, because when the season keeps spiraling, the pressure gets louder, and the empty seats start echoing like a haunted stadium, there's nowhere left to hide. Eventually, a choice gets made. Either you let Shedeur Sanders play, or you watch someone else take your office chair. At that point, Mike Tomlin could walk into Cleveland and call plays, and nobody would notice because fans would be too busy refreshing the injury report every 5 minutes. Sooner or later, everything comes down to the big question. Is Shedeur the future, the present, the backup, the experiment?
Drafted Shedeur Sanders. They are unwilling, clearly, to allow Shedeur Sanders to man the offense in a real NFL game. Kevin Stefanski was asked about it, and he said, I'm not concentrating on the current development of Shedeur Sanders. I'm worried about what we're worried about. I'm now convinced that we need to do a deeper dive investigation into why they are so reluctant to give the kid a shot. I don't know that it's going to be any good. I think there's as good a chance that he stinks as that he's deep.
Or is the team already browsing for the next quarterback like someone ordering takeout while dinner is still cooking on the stove? The only way to find out is to actually put him on the field, not let him stand on the sidelines icing his hands for an entire NFL season. But right now, the Browns seem perfectly comfortable doing the weirdest thing possible, risking fan loyalty, ticket revenue, and maybe the sanity of the entire city, just to avoid starting the one guy who has enough hype to shake up the entire AFC North. The Ravens are preparing for Shedeur, while the Browns are pretending they don't know who he is. Guess which one sounds like a smart plan? Fans are watching this like a sitcom, a very expensive sitcom, where the characters never learn anything, the writers hate progress, and every episode ends with a dramatic cliffhanger that never gets resolved. Browns Nation is exhausted, drained, and spiritually allergic to hope after years of emotional chaos. Right in the middle of all this madness sits Shedeur Sanders.
Drafted Shedeur Sanders. They are unwilling, clearly, to allow Shedeur Sanders to man the offense in a real NFL game. Kevin Stefanski was asked about it, and he said, I'm not concentrating on the current development of Shedeur Sanders. I'm worried about what we're worried about. I'm now convinced that we need to do a deeper dive investigation into why they are so reluctant to give the kid a shot. I don't know that it's going to be any good. I think there's as good a chance that he stinks as that.
The most valuable unopened gift under the Christmas tree. He's the one everyone wants to see, the one fans are waiting for, the one who could flip the whole story. But for now, he's just sitting there while Kevin Stefanski explains to the world that his strategy is to keep losing with passion and consistency. Eventually, someone has to ask the obvious question. What's the worst that could happen? The Browns lose? They already lose. The Browns score 10 points? They already score 10 points. The Browns get embarrassed? That's practically the brand at this point. Playing Shedeur isn't a risk, it's the only thing left that counts as an actual upgrade. Jimmy Haslam is crunching numbers while ticket revenue sinks like a rock and concession sales are gasping for air. If Shedeur Sanders plays, the fans adjust instantly. And no team hates anything more than facing an opponent who prepares with real purpose. Meanwhile, the Browns are stuck in a philosophical debate about whether they should play the talented quarterback they drafted on purpose. Fans are just trying to figure out which dimension of nonsense they accidentally fell into. One more bad game, and someone in Cleveland is going to start a petition letting random fans pick the starting quarterback like a radio giveaway because the fear is gone at this point. The Browns have hit rock bottom so often they might as well collect loyalty points for it.
They recognize if they made him the number 2 quarterback, then they would be setting him up to fail. Because, as you guys know, the number 2 quarterback gets almost no reps during the week. And that's especially the case if the starter is a rookie. They're trying to get Dylan Gabriel prepared to play in the game. They're trying to have him see every rep and every look he's going to see during the week of practice this week. So the backup has to be a guy that can function.
The only real momentum this team has left is sitting behind the bench, and the only story that still matters is the one the Browns keep pretending doesn't exist. So here we are, waiting for the Browns to finally do what every fan, every analyst, every accountant, every hot dog vendor, and every defensive coordinator in Baltimore already knows is coming. Shedeur Sanders is getting on that field. If this season is going to burn, fans at least want to know if the rookie holding the extinguisher is useful or just a shiny decoration. And somewhere in Baltimore, Zach Orr is smiling, because no matter what Cleveland decides, he's ready. He's not losing a single minute of sleep wondering who will start. His prep is done. Meanwhile, the Browns are treating this quarterback decision like trying to figure out who stole cookies in kindergarten. Endless debates, no logic, and the teacher crying in the hallway. The season is slipping, the fans are slipping, the revenue is slipping, and at some point either Shedeur Sanders plays or the Browns deliver a masterclass in competitive self-sabotage in front of millions.
I've never seen him play at the NFL level. I thought his college career was a little over-embellished, but to his credit, he played well in college. I just don't know how well, and I think a lot of the hype was because of his dad, who's regarded as one of the great athletes of all time. But it just doesn't make sense when you acknowledge the fact that NFL coaches and owners would literally trade their moms into sex slavery to win games. It is a win at all cost proposition.
Everyone is watching. Everyone is paying attention, and somehow the Browns are acting like nobody sees what's happening. It would almost be cute, like a toddler hiding behind a lamp thinking they're invisible because they can't see you. Except instead of a toddler, it's a billion-dollar franchise pretending their biggest problem isn't staring the entire world in the face. The Browns aren't giving answers. They're giving riddles. That's how wild things have become. This team has gone from "in football we trust" to trying to decode a quarterback puzzle they made way harder than it needed to be. And trust me, the locker room feels every bit of it. Players don't need to say anything out loud. They know the truth. The defense can only act confused for so long.
Sanders will start before Christmas.
Shedeur Sanders will get a start for the Browns, because why wouldn't he get a start for the Browns? The Cleveland Browns aren't going to be in playoff contention. So if they're not in playoff contention, why not put Shedeur Sanders in at least for a game or two to see if he could possibly be the future of the Browns, or possibly trade him eventually and get some value for him?
I love Dion. I love his son. His son should have been the first overall pick. Again, I'll say it. But I don't see how Shedeur's going to get any shot in Cleveland this year unless it's something like you experienced wherever.
Eventually, someone is going to look across the field and realize they're giving everything they have while the coaching staff treats the most important position in the sport like a stubborn, science fair project that keeps getting worse. And through all of it, Shedeur Sanders just stands there, watching, learning, waiting, while the pressure doesn't fall on him at all. It falls on the people blocking him from playing. Because when the only real solution is the one being ignored, the question isn't about the solution. It's about the decision makers. Sooner or later, the Browns reach the final fork in the road. They can throw Shedeur Sanders into the fire and find out if he melts or forges into something special. Or they can let the season collapse in slow motion while the most anticipated rookie quarterback in Cleveland history spends the year holding a tablet on the sideline. And when that moment finally arrives, when the real decision is finally made, one thing will be remembered forever. They knew exactly what they refused to do, until they had no choice left. If you're feeling this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.